Namaste. So tonight I'm going to read Book 5, Chapter 13 on the killing of Vaskala and Durmukha in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Surya Koti Samprabha Niravighna. Hari Om Tat Sat. Vyasa said, O king, the two powerful Danavas, Vaskala and Durmukha, well versed in arts of warfare, went out for battle, maddened with their prowess. The two Danavas, elated with vanity, went to the battlefield and began to address the Devi in voice deep as the rumbling of a cloud. O beautiful Devi, you better choose and worship the Lord of the Dechas, that high-souled Mahesasura, who has conquered all the Devas. He will come before you in privacy in a human shape, with all auspicious signs, and adorned with beautiful ornaments. O sweet smiling one, better place your highest feelings of love on the lovely Mahesa as your husband, and you will get all the pleasures of the three worlds as you desire. O sweet speaking, in short, if you select him as your husband, you will be the mistress of those incomparable worldly happinesses that women always aspire. Hearing thus the words of Vaskala and Durmukha, the Devi said, O stupid, do you think me as deluded by passion? Do I not possess strength and intelligence that I will worship that hypocrite Mahesa as human? See, the ladies of a high family select those persons that are equal in rank as far as family and distinctions, qualifications, and propriety of conduct and concerned, or those who are superior in beauty, cleverness, intelligence, and other qualifications. Then how can a Devi, becoming passionate, worship the worst of all beasts, the beast Mahesa? O two Asuras, go you immediately to your king Mahesa, resembling in his body like an elephant, and having a pair of horns, and tell him, go either to Patala, the nether regions, or come and fight with me. The Lord of the Devas will no doubt be happy if the war ensues. O stupid, my advent here cannot go in vain. I will easily slay you and then depart. Knowing this, do as you like. O beasts, without conquering me, you would get no shelter either in the heavens or in this earth or in the caves of mountains. Vyasa said, hearing thus, the two powerful Dechas, with eyes reddened with anger, firmly resolved to fight and took bows and arrows in their hands. O descent of Kuru, the Devi then made a terrible noise and fearlessly stood there. The two Danavas then began to shoot dreadful arrows at her. For the victory of the Devas, the Devi also began to hurl arrows after arrows on the two Danavas, emitting a sweet sound. Vaskala first came forward with no delay, and Durmukha stood aloof there simply as a witness. The terrible fight then ensued between the Devi and Vaskala. Arrows, swords, and weapons were seen shining in the air and raised terror to those that were dull of intellect. Then the mother of the universe, seeing Vaskala growing turbulent, shot at him 5 arrows sharpened on stone. The Danava too cut off the arrows of the Devi and hurled 7 arrows at her seated on a lion. The Devi cut off the Danava's arrows and shot at that hypocrite, sharpened arrows, and began to laugh frequently. She again cut off his arrows with Ardhachandra arrow. Vaskala then pursued the Devi with a club in his hand to slay her. Seeing the arrogant Danava with the club in his hands, Chandika Devi struck him down on the ground with her own club. The very powerful Vaskala fell down on the ground but rose up within a very short time and hurled again on the Devi his club. Seeing him again attacking her, the Devi got angry and pierced him with her trident. Vaskala fell down, thus pierced, and died. Vaskala falling thus dead on the field, the soldiers of the wicked demon rooted, whereas the Devas became glad and repeatedly shouted aloud, "Victory to the Devi!" On this Daicha being slain, Durmukha came forward on the battlefield, filled with anger and accompanied by a stronger army, mounted on a chariot, shielded all over his body with a coat of armor. Durmukha came before the Devi, shouting all along, "Wait, wait, you weak woman!" And with bows and arrows in his hands, the Devi blew her conch shell and made sounds by stretching her bow in order to make the Danava infuriated with anger. The Asura then began to shoot sharp arrows after arrows like poisonous snakes. The Mahamaya by her own arrows cut off those of her enemy and began to shout loudly. The fight then raged furiously when both parties began to use arrows, Shakti's clubs, musalas, and tomaras. Blood began to flow in the battlefield in torrents like rivers, and on the banks of the river of blood were seen the severed heads of the dead bodies, which looked like so many hollow shells of gourds, as if kept there by the attendant of the god of death for their swimming purposes. The battlefield then became very dreadful and impassable in some places. Dead bodies are lying, wolves are feeding on their flesh, and other places are seen jackals, dogs, herons, crows, vultures, eagles, and other voracious birds, and beasts and iron-tipped arrows, eating the dead bodies of those wicked demons. Air began to emit an offensive smell because of its contact with these corpses, and there were heard the heart-rending sounds of various carnivorous birds and animals. Then the wicked Durmukha began, as if inspired by the god of death, to address the Devi angrily and arrogantly with his right hand raised up before her. "Your brain has become perverted. Fly away just now, or I will send you unto death. Or you better accept the proud Mahesa, the lord of the Dechas, as your husband." The Devi said, "O villain, I see your death at hand this very day. Therefore you are deluded and therefore raving like a madman. I will kill you today like Vaskala. O stupid, better fly away, or if you prefer death, then wait, I will slay you first." Then the dull Mahesa, the son of a she-buffalo, hearing thus, Durmukha, as if prompted by death, hurled dreadful arrows on the Devi. Instantly the Devi too cut off all his arrows and, infuriated with anger, pierced the Danava by sharpened arrows as Indra had pierced Vitrasura before. The fight then turned out very dreadful. O king, weak persons become very afraid and strong ones become very excited. Instantly the Devi cut off the Asura's bow and broke his chariot by 5 arrows. On seeing his chariot broken, the powerful Durmukha attacked on foot the Devi with his club. Very hard to overcome. He knocked at the head of the lion with the club with great force, but the powerful lion did not become unsteady, though so very hard hit. Seeing the demon thus standing before her, the goddess Ambika cut down his head by her sharpened axe. On his head being thus severed, Durmukha fell down dead on the field. The band of immortals then loudly shouted victory to the Devi. When Durmukha was slain, the immortals from the celestial space began to chant praises and hymns to the Devi, showered down flowers on her head, and gave shouts of victory to the Devi. The rishis, siddhas, gandharvas, vidyadharas, and kinnaras all became very glad to see the demon dead on the field. Here ends the 13th chapter of the 5th book on the killing of Vaskala and Durmukha in Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, the Mahapuranam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Padra Kali Kapali Tagakshma. Mangala Mangala Shvesa Padasham. Just